Hi everyone. Today we're going to solve a question: maximum score of spliced array. In this question, this question is hard. So in this question we have been given an zero index array. So we have been given two zero indexed array, both of length n. We can select two integers left and right, whether those integers should be in between 0 and n, 0 inclusive and n exclusive. And we can swap the subarray nums1 left right with the subarray nums2 left right. So for example, let's say I have these two arrays, 1 2 3 4 5 and 11 12 13 14 15. I have to swap basically a continuous sub array. So let's say in this I am swapping 12 13 with the second array of 2 3. So like after these two elements swap in both of these array, the arrays will become something like this. So what we want is, after swapping, we have to like maximize one array, either of one array, and we have to return the sum of that array. So let's say in this example, if we swap the second element or the first indexed or the second element 60 and in the nums to 90, if we swap both of this, we will get a sum of, so it will become 90 60 90 60 90 60. So it will give us a sum of 210. So this is the maximum possible sum that we can get after swapping a continuous subarray. You can try more things, but this is the maximum possible sum that we can get after swapping the maximum possible subarray. Similarly, there are more examples. In this example, we are swapping the last two elements, and in the last example, we don't have to swap anything, or in other words, we can say that we are swapping the whole array. So both of these are same things. So our task is to find like what is the output and what elements we have to swap, and yeah, so and like after swapping also, like which array will give us the maximum possible answer. To do this, we can see a simple thing in this. So let's say we have been given 60 60 60 and 10 90 10. So in this example, we have been given 10 90 10 and 60 60 60. So after looking at this array, we can easily tell that we have to swap these two elements. Why is that? Because 90 is like the greatest element in the above array. So if we compare both all the elements in the above and the below array, in the zeroth index, 60 is greater. In the first index, 90 is greater. In the third index, or I can say in the second index, 60 is greater. So we can see that either we can swap these two 60s. We can swap these two 60s such that this array become maximum, or we can just swap this 90 and 60. If we can swap 90 and 60, it will become 60 90 90. So after these, each individual elements of this second array will get maximized. So we want this only to maximize possible elements of any one of these arrays. So if we currently what I am doing is I am keeping this array above and this array below. But if we have done something like this, 60 90 60, 10 60 10. Okay, in this also we will see something like this pattern only. So wait, I've done a mistake. Yeah, this should be 90, my bad, and this should be 60. So in this also we will see the same pattern. The only difference now is that we have to when we are swapping, we have to place this element above. In the previous case, we were swapping this element from the below array. There is one more difference, that how we are able to depict that which elements we have to swap. like how we are like looking at individual elements. Another way of doing it is, let's say this was 90, okay, and this was 60. So this is the previous array only. Now we want to find out that what are the elements that like what is the maximum possible subarray, because there could be a case where some elements of the above array are greater, but in between some elements could be like lesser, and after that some elements again could be like of the above array could be greater. So to take care of cases like this, so in this case we cannot like take either this array or this subarray. It could be a need that we could take the whole subarray. And if we look carefully, this is something like Kadane's algorithm. Kadane's algorithm. So in Kadane's also, like whenever we are finding maximum possible subarray, subarray with maximum possible sum, there would have been a case like this, elements like this, 6, 2. So in this, if we just take this elements of subarray of these two elements, and we take elements of these two subarray of these two elements, both of them are lesser than if we take subarray of all of the 5 elements, including this negative element as well. So this negative element is decreasing, this 2 and 5 are increasing. So in this case, in our question, how we can find whether to keep a element in our subarray or not. To find that, we can easily our main motto is to do that. We want all of the bigger elements which are in the above array to place them in the lower array. So we can say that if we subtract 10 minus 16, this will give us negative element. So we don't want negative element into our subarray. And if we subtract 90 minus 60, this will give us 30. This is a positive element and we want a positive element in our subarray. So again, if we subtract this, this will become negative. So what I am saying you to do is, if we just find out the using the Kadane's algorithm, maximum possible subarray, and its sum and its length. So after maximum possible subarray, we will find that 30 is the maximum possible subarray sum, and its length is 1. So in the answer, what we are going to do is, we are going to take all the elements of the second array, and whenever we are at this index, we are going to skip 60 and we are going to take 90, and again we are going to take 60. So by this it will become our answer. And there is another thing, like there could be a case like this as well: 10, 90, 10, 60, 60, 60. So now if we try to subtract them, this will become 50, this will become like minus 30, and this will become 50. And now if we try to find maximum possible subarray, it will be the whole array itself. So for cases like this, what we are going to do is, we are going to find using Kadane's algorithm, maximum possible subarray sum after subtracting them by doing both of these, A minus B, and we are going to form a C, and B minus A as well, and C as well, and we are going to find answer for both of these arrays, and we are going to take maximum of them. Okay, so now what we are doing is, now that you have understood this much, so what we are doing is, initially we are taking A and B. So this is our solution. We have A and B. We are going to first solve for A and B, then we are going to solve for B and A, then we are going to return maximum of A comma B and B comma A. So in A and B, what we are doing is, we are initializing a vector C with all of the subtractions. So A of I minus B of I. Okay, after this we can also dry run it as well. So this will give us all of the subtractions. So this is giving us currently 6, 10, 12, so because we are taking this subarray. Let's take another subarray. Let's take the second array, second sample input. So we are taking the second sample input. In this we can see that there are Yeah, so this is minus 30, 20, minus 30, 30, 10. In this, the maximum possible subarray is 30 and 10. So this is like the largest answer. So in this, we can easily tell that we have to swap these two elements. There could be another case where we are subtracting b minus a. So let's look for this case as well. So this case is also, we have not printed it. Yeah, okay. So in this case, we can see that it is saying that this is the maximum possible subarray. Okay, so both of these are same things, because one is saying that swap these two elements, and one is saying that swap these two elements. So both of them are the same thing. If we swap these two elements, then it is the same thing, because this is automatically swapped. Okay. So what I am saying is, like, I have 1, 2 and 3, 4. So I am saying swap 1 and 3 or swap 2 and 4. Both of them are same thing. If I'll swap 1 and 3, so it will become 3, 1. Okay, so this is answer. And if I will swap 2 and 4, so 1, 3, 2 and 4. So if we look at it, elements are same now. 1 and 4, 1 and 4, 2 and 3, 2 and 3. So this is it. Now we will like solve it step by step. So first we have seen that we have subtracted both of these arrays. Now I am defining some variables. What these variables are going to do is, like, this will store the answer. So this the start will store the starting index from which my maximum possible subarray is starting, and length is the length of that maximum possible subarray. And this will store the sum. At the end, sum will not be necessary, but sum is there to compare the maximum possible subarray sum. Also, I am doing a local start, local length and local sum. This local will keep a track of new subarrays, and it will compare it with the maximum subarray that we have already get. Now in this for loop, I am solving this question. So what I am doing in this for loop is, I am incrementing the value of local sum, and I am checking that if the local sum is less than 0, that means that local sum is negative, then reinitialize all the local sum variables and continue. Like a local sum to 0 and local start to -1. -1 is stating that we have not started our sequence yet or the subarray yet. And the local length will be 0 because we have not formed any subarray yet, and we are continuing. So if this is not the case, if local sum is greater than 0, greater than or equals to 0, then what we are going to do is, we are going to see that if it is the local start is -1, that means that we have yet to start our subarray. Then we'll make the local start equals to I, and we'll increase one length. After this, we are going to check that whether the local length is greater than the maximum length. So if this is the case, then we are going to initialize all the variables for the maximum sum. So maximum sum will become local sum, maximum length will become local length, and the starting index for the maximum possible subarray will become local start. So this is it, and we can also print it. So let's print it now. So in this, it is giving us the start is from the index 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, and it has a length of 2. And in this, when we are subtracting b minus a, it is saying that start is from the index 0 and it has a total length of 3. Okay. So after this, we are initializing our answer, and what we are doing is, we have also an end variable. So this is an end index. So in this case, starting index would have been 0 and end index would have been 2. And in this case, starting index would have been 3 and end index would have been 4. So using length, I am initializing the end index. Okay, I have a start index and now I have an end index as well. So in this for loop, what I am doing is I am I'm looking that whether the current element is in between these two elements or not. If it is if it is in between these two elements, I am going to take the element from the A array, from the A vector, and if it is not in between these two elements, I am going to take the element from the B array. Okay, so like if we look at this case, so if the element was greater, then I will take 90, and if the element is not greater, I am going to take 60. Okay, so this is it, and yeah, so I'm like written this only. If this is the case, add an element from A array, and if this is not the case, add an element from B array. After that, I am printing the answer. So you can see that answer for both of these are different. So okay, so in this case both of these are giving same, but if we take example of some other array, both of these could be different. So at the end, what we want is we want to take the maximum answer from both of these answers. So this is the same thing that we are doing here, but at the end, instead of printing, we are just returning the answer. And in the main function call, whenever we are calling solve a comma b and solve b comma a, we are just returning maximum of both of these. And if we try to submit it, this will get accepted. So this is getting accepted. So one more confusion, if you still have, that why we are adding A element and why we are adding B element. In this case, like why we are adding A element and why we are adding B element. So to clear this confusion, let me explain you that let's say we have 60. So not take 60, let's take 10, 90, 10 and 60, 60, 60. This will give us a subtraction of minus 50, 30 and minus 50. So this is our maximum possible subarray sum. Okay, and it has a length of 1. So starting index is 1 and ending index is 1. So we know that this is maximum. That means that for this index, the A array will have the maximum possible answer. And when like it is not in this index range, when it is not in between 1 and 1, that means that in those cases, the second array will have a bigger element. So what we are doing is we are just checking that if we are in between this element, in this indices, inclusive of this indices, we are going to take an element from the first array, and if we are not, then we are going to take an element from the second array. So this is it. I hope you understood it, and if you have any doubt, please feel free to write it in the description. Okay, so thank you.